Well, now with the winter season obviously in full swing, many head to the higher elevations for some recreation in almost heaven. But how does one of the Mountain State's prime spots keep the snow flowing? Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Scott Sincoff has more. Here's Scott.
It all starts here, Shavers Lake, holding 125 million gallons of water. See, Mother Nature doesn't do it alone. She relies on help to create the snow for the winter sports enthusiasts at Snowshoe Mountain. According to Ty Tegmeyer, the snowmaking manager at Snowshoe, you need 3 things to make proper snow: high-pressure water, high-pressure air, and the right temperature. That right temperature is 28 degrees, but some of the guns run on the wet bulb temperature, which factors in the humidity.
It kind of depends on your water temperature, what's coming out of the lake. We try and run about 34 degrees is usually what our lake runs when we start making snow.
The fresh powder made by the snowmaking guns use high-pressure water and compressed air by a computer-based system, which controls which area of the mountain need the snow based on current weather conditions and snow depth.
And with the new automated system and snowmaking machines, Snowshoe is reducing its carbon footprint, making everything a little bit more energy efficient.
With an updated system, the new Titan snowmakers use less compressed air and can make snow at a slightly warmer temperature, which helps Ty's snowmaking crew cover all 256 acres of the mountain more effectively. The new investment is also an economic boost by reducing their electric bill by 500 million kilowatt hours.
That is enough electricity to power a small town for a year.
And that extra savings will make the investment in the snowmakers worthwhile to keep the snow flowing from October through March, depending on the weather.
The mountain has something to offer everyone across north central West Virginia in the wintertime, and that includes something that's totally tubular. Reporting from Pocahontas County, this is Scott Sincoff, WVOY 12 News.
West Virginia, known for producing many crops, but one sweet substance takes the cake as we move into spring.
Meteorologist Scott Sincoff explains how weather impacts maple syrup production across the region.
Tapping some sap has never been sweeter than this year here in the Mountain State.
It's been a good year. I'm probably 20–40% up from last year in terms of production per tree and stuff because of the weather.
Keith Heasley only started making maple syrup a few short years ago, but he has found that what started out as a hobby has turned out to be anything but a sticky situation. Producing maple syrup is a year-round process. Starting in the summertime, sunshine and the water in maple leaves photosynthesize. That creates sugar within the trees, and it spreads within the tree while it hibernates. As winter turns to spring, temperatures warm up and allow the sap to loosen up throughout the tree, where it gets tapped for 5 to 6 weeks in a connected tube network throughout a patch of maple trees.
And in order for the sap to flow through the tube from the maple tree, the temperature has to be just right.
We need days above freezing, 45 and sunny is perfect, and then down to the 20s at night. Stop the sap, and when it goes below freezing, the tree puts more sugar into the sap and sends it out when it gets warm again.
With more than 1,400 taps on his property, Heasley produces about 3,500 gallons of sap per day. Once the water is taken out of the sap, only 1 gallon of syrup is produced for every 100 gallons of sap. That maple syrup can then remain liquid or be made into sugar, flavoring, or candy.
And the long process is well worth it in the long run, from getting the sap from the taps in the woods to producing the syrup, getting even sugar and delicious candies just like that. Reporting from Brewston Mills, Scott Sincoff, WVOY 12 News.
Welcome back. Well, as we dive deeper into fall or autumn, some hot food and maybe cold beer warm up a lot of our stomachs here in the Mountain State. But there's one family-run business that's nestled near Brewston Mills that has taken this to another level. Meteorologist Scott Sincoff takes us to Screech Owl Brewing and the Spent Grain Cafe.
I'm here at the Spent Grain Cafe and Screech Owl Brewing near Brewston Mills, where they use this spent grain that goes from this to this.
It all started more than 3 years ago when Krista Johnson got her husband Roger a beer kit as a Christmas present. It's now transformed into Preston County's only award-winning craft brewery, with a packed crowd starting at lunchtime
The beer starts out with 1/4 ton of barley per week, which is then brewed in the German tradition with local well water. With 7 beers currently on tap, Roger and his team are always making something new to fill their taps and growlers. But what's done after the grain's used in the beer, that's what's truly unique.
The grain, after we've washed all the sugars and enzymes out of it for the beer, is then not ground up. It's used whole in our breads.
That grain is called spent, and it has a honey-like flavoring that brings out the best in their homemade pepperoni rolls, hamburger buns, and fresh-made pizzas. The local joint's goal is to serve what they want to eat at the dinner table, like house-made chili and dough-wrapped hot dogs. Spent Grain Cafe regular John Martin says the location and the family atmosphere keeps him coming back.
It's out in the middle of nowhere, it's quiet, and it's a down-home feel. Plenty of TVs to watch all the sports activities.
And the unique food has the family coming from across the state, across the country, and as far away as Madagascar to try a piece of almost heaven. And it's time to eat. We have the spent grain pepperoni pizza, the spent grain pepperoni rolls, and the spent grain fried bologna sandwich. So I think you guys can catch a theme here. Let's take a bite of the fried bologna sandwich, shall we? That is amazing. Make sure to check this place out. It is off the wall. I'm Scott Sincoff here in Brewston Mills. I'm Spent, WVOY 12 News.
All right, there you go. Screech Owl Brewing and Spent Grain Cafe, located on Ralph Livingood Road, just southeast of Brewston Mills. Remember, of course, you can always revisit any of our past stops along the restaurant road trip at our website, WBOY.com. Welcome back. Well, football season brings many things to the table, playing catch, hanging out with friends, beating that arch rival. But what if hot and humid weather makes one of your favorite sports unbearable for the athletes and the fans? Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sincoff has more.
The touchdowns and tailgates of Blue and Gold Nation are abuzz as the Mountaineers get ready to play another season. But with summer still in full swing, temperatures can feel like over 100 degrees during the course of daytime football games, making it unbearable for both players and fans. The key to keeping cool is thermoregulation.
Yeah, thermoregulation is a process of the body basically being able to maintain that temperature. So we have a very specific core temperature that we want to maintain. So one of the best ways for us to do that is through sweating. So what happens is, as we sweat, and that water actually evaporates off the skin, and that's what keeps the skin temperature cool and keeps everything working right in the body.
And sweating is necessary because, according to sports medicine researchers, exercise produces 15 to 20 times more body heat than when the body is at rest.
Which means that when you're cheering on your favorite team, drinking plenty of water is a good idea to help keep yourself cool.
And whether you're on the field or in the stands, things are going to be hot in the September heat, but your best bet to stay cool is to be in the shade with a light breeze.
Just by having just even a slight breeze really works to help evaporative cooling and can really help bring somebody's core body temperature down.
And even with that little bit of wind, a turf field will still feel way hotter than a grass field because the heat from the turf will go directly into your face because of that lack of moisture. The bottom line, stay hydrated when you're out on the blue and gold gridiron. For 12 News, meteorologist Scott Sincoff.
All right.